When we talk tension adjustment for the bernette Funlock b42 Coverstitch machine, honestly, I don't have to adjust it too much. First, if you use a good quality thread, that will help immensely. We'll put links below this YouTube video where you can find quality thread to put in this machine. Don't use cheap stuff. It's really not worth your time and headache. The main thing is what you choose for fabric, because your fabric choice can make some slight differences on how that stitch appears on the fabric, on your hems, and if you're skipping stitches or maybe stitches aren't laying as nice and flat across the top, or maybe they're too tight. So let's talk about where your stitches might look too sunk into the fabric. Now remember, the stitches you see on top are your needle threads, whether you have a single needle for a chain stitch, a 2 needle for a narrow or wide cover stitch, or all 3 needles going at once. So you can just do a little slight adjustment for tensions if the needles seem like they're really kind of sinking in or even gathering up your fabric a little bit. Just know you can reduce them down from 4 to 3, somewhere in that range. If you're getting any skipping of stitches where on the back you're not getting a nice, smooth, consistent stitch, then we're going to talk about maybe loosening up your cover stitch thread. So note that you can work within those ranges from 4 to 3, and if that doesn't work, see if by making it a little tighter will work. So don't be afraid to actually adjust these if you're not getting the perfect results. But just know there are other things that you can choose and change. Again, quality thread. Let me go back to how important that is. Has it been a while since you changed your needles? Put a new set of needles in. And also, when was the last time you cleaned and oiled this machine? And if it really doesn't tend to get better, make sure that you have your annual cleaning and service at your local Bernina store. They'll be able to help you out, maybe even get you kind of back on track if things have been working well and now they're not. So just keep that in mind. This machine doesn't have a lot of differences. I mean, there's 3 needles max and 1 looper. There's not a lot that can go wrong with this machine, but there is a lot of variables once you start adding your fabric to the mix. Now, don't forget, we have 2 great craftsy.com online courses that you can check out. The links are below this YouTube video, and those will give you great suggestions when it's actually in a project that you're working with. You know, how those stitches are supposed to go over a really thick seam, or what if you're getting some puckering with very unique like lycra fabric. So just note, changing your needles, good quality thread, cleaning your machine, those will be your first things to do. Do a little tension adjustments, and then of course if you are working with any decorative thread, say in the cover stitch looper, if it's thicker, just make sure you have dropped it down to a 2 or 3, just allow for the thickness of thread to even come through that tension as normal. When you're done, make sure that you take it back to the default setting of 4.